First day of school, the teacher writes things on the board to see whether we could see what's on the board. I couldn't, so he moved me to the middle of the room, still couldn't see. Moved me to the beginning, to the front row, still couldn't see what was written on the blackboard. Then I was told my parents, this kid needs glasses, so we go to an optometrist. An optometrist is a person who is not a medical doctor, but he's the guy or gal who prescribes lenses, glasses, and contact lenses, but he can't do anything. They're not allowed to do any medical treatment, surgery, or prescribe drugs or anything like that. Well, the optometrist then could relatively easily spot that I had some problems with my retina, but he didn't say anything. He recommended we see an ophthalmologist, and so we went to an eye clinic in Iowa. As a matter of fact, it was recommended. The doctor examined me and then sent me back out into the waiting room. I was probably 8 years of age then, and then my parents called my parents in, and they were in for a few minutes, and then they came out of the room all slow and sad, and their shoulders were drooping, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, what is wrong? And then on the way home, silence in the car, and I got everything I wanted, and then that night they sat up and I went to bed. My bedroom was next to the room in which they were talking, and they were talking about what they were going to do because they had just found out they were going to have a blind child. And that's how I found out that I was going to be blind. And that is a major, major problem still to this very day. Blindness is such an emotionally tinged situation that there are people who don't want their children to know that they're going to go blind. And it happens over and over and over and over. And there are some teachers where the parents will tell the teachers, do not, under any circumstances, tell my child he or she is going to go blind. And I think that is doing the child a tremendous disservice, just an unbelievable disservice. That's how difficult it is for people to accept the fact that blindness is in the future for those individuals. So the doctors sometimes give very bad advice to parents, and the doctors who originally diagnosed me as having retinitis pigmentosa, they were wrong on many cases in many issues. One is they said I would go blind by the time I was 14. Remember, I was probably about 8 when I got diagnosed. When the shades would be pulled and everything would be black, and it isn't really black, but I'm just saying that. Probably the doctors thought that. Then my education would come to an end, so that and it would be nothing more that anybody could do, and so they should rush me through the 8 grades, get me into high school as far as they could, and then when on my 14th birthday and I was blind as a bat, then that'd be the end of my education. That's how wrong these guys were. And luckily my parents did not follow their advice, because if they had, I would not be a professor here at Northern Illinois University. I'd be on welfare someplace in Nebraska right now. I have a daughter, and I'm assured by my wife that I am in fact her father. She is normally sighted. So, and then in my big extended family, of which we have about 50 people, with this gigantic family, when we get together, there are only 3 of us who are visually impaired. That is myself and my 2 sisters. And my sisters have children of their own, and none of them is visually impaired. And my brother and sister who are normally sighted, who very well may be carrying the gene too, but we don't know that for sure, they have children, and they are normally sighted.